And there we are live. Hello, dolls. It's me, Wilma Fingerdew, the suet puddin', and I am joined with the incandescently also suety and puddingish Teresa Mulhern. How are you, my Irish Rose?
I'm good, my love. I'm good.
I'm so excited. We've been wanting to do something together for a while, and damn that Tia, she's been back on the R&R, so I haven't been able to step in and save the day. But we chat all the time, and it's funny how you can let stuff go, because I can't remember. I think the last time we were live was
Oh
you
God.
and Wilhelmina and Chloe.
Chloe, yeah.
Was it my birthday? Was it?
I think it was, yes.
That would be April. Oh,
yeah.
So how are you? Chloe, speaking of the devil, is there. So is Darcy. Oh, I don't know if Darcy left that message yesterday. It says 2:25 p.m., but she might be in a different time zone. But there's Chloe watching us. We are going to be showing off our Plouise products lately. Now, I bought two budget boxes. The first budget box was just recently arrived, and it had the but does it come in pink palette?
That's the one I have as well. I was like, well, if I'm on with Wilma, I have to do something pink. So
right.
I grabbed that.
Yeah. Did you get the purple one, you hateful thing?
Maybe.
Well, the thing is, I don't have the purple one, and it's sold out right now, which is fine. I feel like Jesus is telling me, stop it. And here's why. I have some great purple palettes already with Plouise. For instance, with her Stack 'em Ups, I have the purple Stack 'em Up, which is very purple.
Yeah.
And here's the thing I want to say, because I have the pink Stack 'em Up, I think, here. Oh, no, I didn't bring it out. But Plouise makes a point of never repeating a shade. You're not going to find, if this is the purple one here, you're not going to find these exact ones in the big purple one they just released.
Which I appreciate.
I do too. That's a hell of a task. But in some cases, I will admit they're a tone off. Like I've looked at some, and I really appreciate that. But that said, I still want the purple one.
I mean, fair. The heart wants what the heart wants.
Now I started because Teresa's going to be quick, and I've got a Canadian Thanksgiving dinner to get to. I started my eyebrows already, and I used this palette. This is one of the Love Tape palettes. This is called the Love Affair. It's gorgeous. It's very orange, and this is a perfect eyebrow palette for me. I used the darker tones here, and then these two lighter ones, and then this here. This highlight is ridiculously bright. That's a great, that could be used on the cheek as a highlight, or it doesn't have to be on the eye. So anyway, I started with that. So I'm going to be using the purple Stack 'em Up. And here, I want to show you this. Here's the Love Tape, the Love Affair color story. Very orange.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah, and now here is the Stack 'em Up orange, and they called this one Back Yourself. Sounds rude. But they're very different. This one's much yellower. Sorry.
Yeah.
So there's the
that is
Stack
more
Up,
yellow.
and then that's the Love Tape. So I was going to use this one for my eyebrows, but this one went so much darker that I had to go with that one. But yeah, this is one of the points. I find sometimes I think, I really wish that there had been a better yellow in that palette, and then I remember, oh wait, there's a yellow over there. So I enjoy that. Now, something that we got in the last budget box was the new product, which are the cream bronzers. Now, I wish to crying out loud on a stick that I had thought of this before, but I saw a great video. I'm going to find out who did it, because she deserves to be named. Name her. Name her. She underpainted. Now, here's why I bring this up. These cream bronzers they send two in the budget boxes, and the funny thing about them is one is really, really light. I don't know. Did you get two very contrasting?
Yes, I was like, okay, this isn't even the lightest shade. I think it's like the 5th from the lightest. But even for me, that's quite light. So they're very inclusive. And then they sent on this one, which is quite deep. But
What color is that one?
hold on now. Made to shade.
Oh, I got Fudge Fantasy, again, rude. And then I got Lovely Latte. And look at the Lovely Latte is almost a skin tone for me. I actually do have I do have the Lovely Latte. Let me put it on my hand so you can see it.
Yes.
Like that's like
Oh,
it's
wow.
very much a skin tone for me.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Yeah. And so I already put that on to kind of warm up my edges, but it didn't do anything. But I have used this one. Now, the reason that I was excited to use this one is, and I'm trying to find this girl's video. She got this. And her, oh, I'm so sorry. I meant to have this ready to go.
You're all right.
But she underpainted with this. Now, underpainting is a theater technique. I just want to say, I watch a lot of pimple popping videos. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. There are far too many here for me that I've watched all in one go. But anyway, so underpainting is something they did in theater. They still do it in theater. But you put all your hard, like, you'll see this on TikTok. They'll put like their blush on first, their contours. Oh, hey, Steph. Steph's here. And they'll put all that stuff on and they don't blend it. They put it on kind of hard. Jinx Monsoon's regular makeup routine is done this way. And then they put their foundation over it. Even if it's a full coverage, you put it over and it softens everything. Now, I find for drag, for me, I didn't do that for this. I didn't put this under my foundation. I put it on, but I blended it out. But also, when you use setting powder on drag makeup, it takes it down another tone. So I've already got this very dark. Now, don't get me wrong. I love that it's this dark. I love this for a contour. Like this is great. And I'm going to use it again a little later. The one thing I don't know, Teresa, do you know, does it dry down to a powder or does it just dry down?
Do you know what? I decided I wasn't going to use it at all until the two of us did a live on it.
Because I haven't tried it for that, but I did do for my face. I wanted to say I have been using, whenever I do a live or a tutorial, I've been using this Plouise Pro Base. This is in 0.2 or 2 or base 202. And this is just like the Pro Base, but this is called Pro Base. And this is called Base Pro. This is the eye primer, but this is just called Pro Base. And this is something that came in a budget box a year or two ago. This is my perfect shade of skin tone. Whenever I've swatched anything over my tattoos, this is what I put down. You can't see it. It almost matches my skin tone perfectly. So when I do these kind of tutorials, I like to use this on my face because it's not so harsh. Because it's got a pinker tone to it. I just feel like it doesn't leave me looking as severe sometimes as I feel I have been lately with my dry makeup. I'm just like, oh, that's a lot. I'm just looking. Oh, Darcy's here now. Hey, Darcy.
Hi, my love.
And I'll try and keep. I'm gonna try and keep we don't have the lovely Candace here, and I moved myself. You'll see I'm not sitting in front of my wall. I'm sitting in front of my computer actually, and so I can read the things. But I'm trying to find this girl's. Oh, here she is. Oh, thank God.
But I remember maybe about 2 years ago, there was a thing like Tati Westbrook did a thing where she had an MUA on and he was showing how he did, I think it was Kim Kardashian's makeup or something for the Met Gala. Yeah. And it was all underpainting.
That's what's his name. Her makeup artist too. He didn't invent contouring, but he's the one that brought it to the main market. Yeah. And a lot of people now use contour because of his makeup with Sniggle Fritz, Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
And yeah, so a lot of these techniques were used in theater, but you can use them, like, as you can see, like, it's like, do you see this line here that I created with the contour? Like, it's
Yes.
created a cheek line that I don't have there. That's theater. You want to make somebody look like old, you do a white line with a black line under it, and it looks like a wrinkle from the third row. But up close, you're like, wow, that's a lot of heavy makeup right there.
Yeah.
The juxtapositioning these light and dark colors, and then, you know, using theater lights to your advantage, and, you know, because they do wash out a lot of makeup, and if you've got that underpainting under your makeup and the makeup kind of gets faded out, that's where the underpainting comes into play. And yeah, it doesn't, like, I've done underpainting and I don't mind it. I feel like you almost use a little less makeup too with it, but I I like building up my makeup a little.
Yeah.
So I don't find that as useful.
I
But
suppose it depends on like what your preference is. Like
yeah.
even I was looking at these bronzers and kind of thinking to myself, okay, one is probably it will work for me, and then the other one is way too deep. But one of the ways that I've been using cream products to try and make sure that they mesh really, really well is to put them onto like a plate, like a little resin palette or anything you have. Now this is something that like Daniela taught me, which is to make it mesh with your foundation. It's just to put a little splotch of your foundation in, mix it with your cream product or your liquid product, and it just meshes beautifully. And it's brilliant for lazy bitches like me who don't want to spend forever like blending shit. So I'm like,
Oh,
oh, okay.
yeah. No,
So
I've gotten into using cream products lately because they're coming out, like they're in vogue. I just want to say that Darcy said they never called it contouring before Kim Kardashian came around. They called it the lose 10 pounds trick.
uh,
But Jen Brooke is here. Hey, Jen. Witchy 90210 is here. Do you think she's from California?
oh, possibly.
Is that Bel Air? No, is that? I never watched that show. Did you ever watch that show?
I remember that show used to be on Saturday
You're a
morning.
few decades younger than me, so you were probably just a child quivering in the wake of its destruction to society.
I mean, I do remember it and just thinking, like, my goodness, like a lot of like dramatic things seem to happen to these people that live in this postcode. Would they not consider moving somewhere less dramatic? Because it just all
Well,
seemed to be down to where they were living.
I watched the first episode because there's such hype around it. I'm just starting with my love tape or stack 'em up palette, the purple one, which is called CEOOOOOO. It's the purple one like this. It's really cute. I hated the episode. Well, I may have been a little too old for it. I don't know, but it just I never liked watching Dallas or Dynasty or any of those things either. So I just found it was like somebody's attempt to get a younger demographic into watching these shows for 10 years. And I just couldn't get into anything that they were talking about or complaining about. And so I just kind of ignored it. I didn't even finish watching that episode. And it became such a huge hit. It
Yeah.
used to make me crazy because I hated it.
I wonder though, like the actors who are on it, they don't seem to be in much these days. They like seem to have gotten like typecast from it, and I don't know if they've done that well. I remember one of them, I think, had to file for bankruptcy a while ago.
Oh, and then Shannon Doherty's got cancer. If she's still, I don't even know if she's still alive. Isn't that awful?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But she was on
I wanted
Charmed.
to say, Witchy 90210 is not from California. It's Jose from Patreon. Hey, Jose. And I got my YouTube when I was like 14, and he loved Beverly Hills. Currently living in the opposite of Beverly Hills, but yes, West Virginia would be the opposite of Beverly Hills.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like rural Ireland would be the opposite.
I don't know. Is it as rampant with the racism?
I don't know. We more just kind of like, if we see somebody that definitely isn't from here, we just all kind of stop and stare and kind of go, oh,
yeah. But you're more nationalist minded than race minded in your
yeah. We get very excited when somebody who's not from this country arrives here, and then we're like, do you like it here? Please say you like it here.
Yeah,
and then we do everything. Yeah, we do everything then to make sure that the person that's here is like extra comfortable. So
like, people think that that's British charm or Irish hospitality. No, it's a desperate situation.
Oh yeah,
that
no, we're
needs
like, please like us. You'd swear we were in
please.
like a popularity contest. Like it's actually nuts. Like even
Mm.
like he'll sometimes pretend he's like only just arrived, so people will start like buying him pints at like pubs and be like, please like us. Please find that Ireland is a nice place.
I have to say, I've never been anywhere where anyone made me feel like I wasn't welcome, or you
Mm.
know what I mean? Like without knowing too much about me. I mean, I'm sure once you start splitting hairs, people start having opinions, but I've just never I find most people, especially I don't know, just especially when they're in a business, they seem to be a little more friendly, or like they'll take your money type of thing, so they'll be friendly to get it.
Yeah.
But I just have never had a problem anywhere. Ironically, you know where the worst is for me? I've ever Montreal. And it's
Oh.
just because they have a real, and I understand it, and I am not disputing it, and I never give them any flack when I receive it. But they have a French law in Quebec to preserve our second language, right? Like, so people, when they immigrate and move to Quebec, they have to learn French. And what happens is, like a lot of the signage through the 90s in Quebec, they wouldn't allow English words. So we have a store called The Bay, like the Bay, BAY, the Bay. They had to
Yeah.
spend thousands and thousands of dollars to add an E to it because that's the French word. And,
Wow.
like, okay, we get it, but that's not a French company. Do you know what I mean? It's like, but anyway, I feel for the French, and there's this constant struggle, and it's constantly, but when I walk into a McDonald's in the downtown core of Montreal, at the heart of its most touristy center of the universe, and say, can I have a small coffee, please? I would expect any nationality would understand what I just said in
Yeah.
that environment. I may have said a
Context.
Coke, I may have said a coffee. You're going to bring me something, it'll be in a cup. 100 times it'll be in a cup. But when they go, "Que? Pardon?" Like, oh my God. Like, I'm sorry. I try and speak French. If somebody comes up to me and speaks French, I'll try to let you know how bad I am at it.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I am that bad, but I'm going to give you a chance. But
I
yeah,
mean,
it's frustrating. It's frustrating in Canada.
when somebody makes it clear that, they may struggle with the language, like you do try as best as you can. Like we have like a lot of Ukrainians in,
Oh yeah.
um, and we're getting more and more Ukrainian students. So like we'll try and bring in like some Ukrainian like language and examples and stuff so that they kind of understand what it is that we're talking about. But like
Hmm.
I think we kind of have to try and meet each other halfway. Otherwise it's just
Yeah,
kind of
like I when I go to Quebec, I have basic French, like basic French, but I do try.
yeah.
Like, I don't expect anyone. Like, I have friends that live in Quebec, and they're always say to me like that how much they appreciate that I don't rely on them to speak for them, because a lot of people will go, "Will you tell them I want a coffee?" It's like, un café, s'il vous plaît. I'm sorry that was horrible, but I tried.
Yeah.
And and they appreciate that, and I think anyone does, and maybe that's how I travel. I try wherever I go. Some people aren't like that, but
Yeah.
you know,
But I would imagine like I would appreciate it. Like I know like even here in Ireland we have the Gaeltacht, which is where everyone speaks like Gaelic, Irish.
yeah, yeah,
And when it's really clear that people who aren't from Ireland arrive there, all the Gaelgors, so they would Irish is their first language, they
right,
shift right over then to English because they're like, okay, and they don't like speaking English. Make that very, very clear. Gaelgors do not enjoy speaking English. It's like a cultural thing. It comes back to, oh, the English tried to take our language. We are not
right,
speaking it. But as soon
yeah,
as like somebody who's not from Ireland and they make it clear that they're not from Ireland, they don't understand Irish, they will switch to English, even though it makes them feel very uncomfortable. And I'm like, okay, I
right,
really respect that. But you have to meet people halfway,
yeah.
like in the same way that you said, like you've gone in somewhere, you've made it very, very clear you're speaking English. Like, they need to try and meet you
Yeah.
halfway, and you meet them halfway by speaking French as well. So, like,
Well,
it's
and
a
then
good
there
thing.
was this turnaround in Montreal anyway. I don't know, or maybe it's the whole province. I don't know. But there was this huge thing where, Montreal or Quebec was, there's that whole French reputation. Oh, they're French, dismissive. Do you know what I mean? It's very funny to me because as a stand-up comic, I'll often say, like, oh, where are you from? Montreal, hateful. And I'll just turn away from them, like, because that's the joke, but I don't believe that.
Yeah.
But I find it funny that they tried to turn that reputation around. So the national kind of motto, instead of La Belle Provence, it was Bonjour, hi. And now they're trying to stop people from saying that because it's too English. It's like, ugh, you're never going to be happy.
No.
Like, my attitude is, why don't you just let everyone do their best?
And
Do their
English.
best. Oh, Martha Anastasia is here. I need to tell
Hello,
you all, she
darling.
sent me the most fabulous present, and I haven't shown the video yet. I'm actually going to post the, I'm sorry, guys, on Patreon. I have three Patreon videos that I just have not had time to edit, so I'm getting on that too. But Martha Anastasia sent me the most beautiful present. I want to show you guys. So I'm going to post the Patreon video first so you all can see. And then once you can suck at the trough of jealousy, then I'll show the rest of the world.
Excellent. As long as
Yes.
we get there. That's all I
I
ask.
like people to suffer. I have to tell you, I am only using this Love Tape palette right now, and I am not upset about it. This is
I find, like, particularly like her smaller palette tends to be slightly better quality. I don't know
Well,
what it is.
Daniela that got me on to the Stack 'em Ups.
They're the best.
She said something like, "These are the best," and
Yeah.
she's an MUA. It's like, well, she knows. Like, she's never steered you wrong, and I've heard enough of your stories of her suggestions that it's like,
Oh,
well, if Daniela says so, do it.
do you know what
Even if
she
she
put
doesn't
me
say it
on
to
to?
you.
Do you know what she put me on to recently? And they only just arrived the other day. And I have them over here. Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to show them to you.
Oh my God. I'm not strong enough.
Avert thine eyes. Right. There's this company called Lit Cosmetics. And basically, I need to, like, be careful.
How do you say the name? Lift or list?
Lit. L-I-T. Sorry.
Lit. Oh, lit. Okay.
Yeah. So it's Lit Cosmetics. And they do all these glitters. And she sent me this WhatsApp just kind of going, I want this. And it's like, basically, of course, me being an idiot, I can't just buy one thing. So they do these glitters. And the one that she was really telling me about, hold on, now I have it here. It's LXN Dior CLR. And there's bits of, like, actual glitter in this. So hold on, let me just grab a bit. And I'm going to put a bit onto my... Oh, sorry. That was a very guttural animal.
Oh, God. Isn't that beautiful?
Isn't it? So, like, then when you put it on.
Oh my God. I'm in full screen mode to get the full glitter effect. That is gorge.
Isn't it? I think I'm going to have to do, like, a full swatching Sundays on the ones that I got, because I think, like, this one in particular, there's, like, blues, pink, and there's actual silver in it.
Oh, so, wow.
Like, that's it's gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. But I got a few of the ones from that. And do you know what? They were so lovely. Like, I made a big enough order. Like, I ordered 7 different glitters. And they put in, like, a little glitter glue in as well. And I just thought, nice. Yeah, I just thought they were really pretty.
I have to say that these smaller indie companies, especially, I notice, especially with the European ones, like, so Beauty Moon, Artitude. They often, if you order something, like the first time I ordered something from Artitude, I got all these other things I didn't ask for. And one of the things she keeps sending me, which I love, is her eyelashes. They're too small for me to use as eyelashes, but I use them on the bottom,
Yeah.
and they're great. But I don't like to use expensive. Like I don't like to use the eyelashes I have for on the bottom because they just get ruined. So when I get a couple of Rux eyelashes in, I just woohoo!
Oh, I love Rux. She's such a sweetheart.
Yeah, and then Darcy's here from Saints, Angels, Sinners. I'm affiliated with Saints, Angels, Sinners, but I also was affiliated after I said, like, one of my favorite palettes from last year was Saints, Angels, Sinners, which was the one together you and I were talking about it.
Yes.
And it ended up not getting released.
Oh, that's a beautiful palette.
Oh, it's spectacular. It's still my favorite. It's still,
Yeah.
and it kills me, that it's not something that we can talk about
Easily.
in a way that's helpful.
Yeah.
But
even one of my
Darcy's
favorites.
been really good with her company, and I find these small companies they're just able to kind of make that effort. So when sometimes there are small companies that aren't like that, and you're like, why is that happening? Clearly, you're the only one that does it.
They're lifting the bar for everyone else. That's the thing. So,
well, also, I think in this economy, I'm sorry, I keep leaning out of shot. I go into these weird modes. I don't know if you do this with your makeup, but whenever I'm putting on, like sometimes I'll be and then I start to lean, and then I'll support my elbow on something weird, and all of a sudden I'm like, instead of just moving the mirror, I have to leave the mirror where it is and try and fit my face. It's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
no, it happens to me all the time.
Mm-hmm. I've been so frustrated lately doing makeup. I had Wilhelmina over the other day, and everyone was saying how good our makeup looked in our last video, and I was so grateful. But it was a struggle. I don't know what was wrong. It was like I'd never put makeup on before, and I was just kind of getting a little frustrated with myself because I don't like to do Wilma under duress. Like I always say, if it becomes a job, I'm quitting because
Yeah.
I'm doing this because I hate working. but yeah, for some reason, the last couple of times it's just been, and I know I'm going to jinx myself here, but I feel like I'm kind of getting a through it. Sorry, I changed up our framing because of your camera.
Yes. Sorry.
No. I think that's better that way. Oh, Basic Steph. Basic. I hate to call you Basic Steph. That's your channel. Steph ordered the Artitude Halloween box. I thought that was a great little idea.
Yeah. And I know that Artitude is coming out with a new palette.
Well, that's the thing. I thought that was going to be it. I was so excited. So even though she released the box, I was like, I'm waiting. I know something better is coming. You tell me.
I'm so excited. Like, I can't wait because I feel.
Have you seen it? Have you helped her with it at all?
No, I've had no say in this one. But I feel like with every palette she's done, it kind of tops the previous one.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of.
The Maneater one, I have to tell you, when I first got Maneater, I don't know if you have this. I don't know if any of you out there have this. I sometimes get buyer's regret. Not once I have it. Sometimes I bought things and it's like, ooh, that sucked. Like that was terrible. I should have that. But sometimes after I bought something, I start going, oh, I shouldn't have maybe bought that. Or do you know what I mean? And I think when I bought Maneater, it was for my birthday. And then I broke my no buy to do it. And the thing for me with that was you had worked on, that was the other tipping point for me because you were involved. So it's like, oh, that's going to be, I want to see what the palette you've had your hand on is like. So that was exciting. But there was that, while I was waiting for it to arrive, I was like, did I need to buy that? Oh dear. I just want to, this girl here, there we go. This lady right here, her name is Michelle Martin. She only has 1.7 subscribers, and only 119 people have seen this. She posted it 2 weeks ago. But she's lovely. Now, I always say to people, when I look for people on YouTube to show me how to do makeup, I always like to see people with similar shaped faces.
Yes.
I don't need some sharp cheekboned wee lassie giving me the business.
Yeah.
But this beautiful woman right here, it was like, oh, the thing that I often, it was the bronzer that she had. And she has a darker, lighter tone, so she was lucky. But this lady underpaints with this. So I highly recommend you guys give this video a look. I gave it a thumbs up. I'm not subscribed to her yet. I'm going to check out, because sometimes some people's makeup stuff is too not for me. But I wanted to see how this was, so I highly recommend this to everyone.
Fabulous.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I always like finding new like little tips and tricks on things.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying as much as possible to like grow my makeup skills so that I don't like end up in a rush doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Right. Oh, there we go. I was trying to find that setting. Ugh. I apologize, you guys. Candace is much better at all this. Bless her heart. But I forgot it was Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend. So I've cut my my crease. I'm going to go into my
fabulous
little pink party. Oh no, I know what I wanted to do. This is the Love Tape. Sorry, the Stack 'em Ups. Talk is cheap. This is the blue one. Talk is cheap.
Oh, fabulous!
And this little highlighter here. I'm just going to throw that up on my. Throw it up on my eyebrow arch. But yeah, I was going through a bit of a like I wasn't depressed about makeup. I was just depressed at what I was doing with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've been trying to reconnect with a lot of my older palettes, and I've really been enjoying that. I've also been clearing out since coming out of the hospital. Wilhelmina and my birthday twin Candace, they kind of purged my apartment while I was in the hospital. So when I came home, there was a lot of stuff thrown out, but there was also new stuff that I hadn't seen. Like Wilhelmina bought me the best towels. They're made by Uggs. You know the boots, the slipper boots?
Yes.
They make towels. Did you know that?
I did not.
You know how comfortable a pair of Uggs are, even though you're embarrassed to be seen in them? Towels are twice as comfortable. The towels are ridiculously exquisite. They're almost too nice to use.
Oh, like, you know, when we were growing up, we'd have like the guest towels.
Yeah.
And they were always so much fluffier and nicer.
Yeah, they always had a band on them and stuff, and ours were all like tea towels.
Yeah.
Old t-shirts.
But we had like beach towels. That's what we would get.
Oh my. I always wanted beach towels, but we never went to the beach. This is the thing I love about this pink palette. As pink as it is, this dark side is just gorgeous. This one color right here, it is called Wardrobe. We're woo woo. Oh, here it is. It is called Wardrobe. It's just this deep, russety, berry-ish, delicious gorgeousness. It's just gorgeous. But sure. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I have, I have my fabulous makeup enabler, David Burkett.
Yes.
So he sent me a bunch of these Plouise paints. Yeah, I love these. So I'm going to use, I want to use a pink one. I'm just going to put it on my hand, just like that. And I'm going to paint it onto my eyes. But then I'm going to use some of the shimmers from the pink palette.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun. But yeah, I keep forgetting that I have this. these things because it's just one of those things where I just don't use them.
Yeah.
I'm not reliant on them. Do you know what I mean? So it's always like, oh, I forgot to.
Yeah.
Also using, David sent me this pigment. Oh no, maybe I got it in a budget box, but it's this pigment right here that Plouise sells. So it's
Oh,
in a little
yes,
dark
yes.
shade thing. So this one's white with gold highlight. Like it's literally like I'm afraid of it spilling out, but
Yeah, because I just used one there.
yeah, it's in the lid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. What color do you have there?
I have it's called Inner Unicorn, and it's like this lavender to blue to deeper purple. Beautiful.
Mine is Silver Spirit,
Oh,
but it's very gold. I mean, it's
yeah.
for something that's got the name silver in it. It's very gold. But yeah, I just want to put this on the. So it's Canadian Thanksgiving here this weekend, and there was a lot of people online just, oh, what's the difference? You know, like, do you eat different things or something? It's like, no, it's the exact same thing. It's just that Canada started Thanksgiving 43 years before America did.
Oh.
So it's actually more of a traditional thing for Canadians than, I mean, it's not, it's equal. I'm not trying to be better than the Americans because, you know, you don't have to try. Oh!
Play nicely with the other children.
But I love Americans, and I just have to say, it breaks my heart what's going on down there, and that's all I'm going to say. Although, thank God for Lauren Boebert. What an idiot! If anybody was a good poster for Planned Parenthood,
Well, see,
I think she would be it.
Our main thing that we tend to look at here in Ireland is we look at like British politics because
Right.
a lot of what they do affects us.
Well,
And
yeah.
like, I just saw Rishi Sunak on his weird rant about men are men and women are women. And I was like, oh God,
Oh.
what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Please
but
stop.
what if you were a man and you're in a woman's body?
Yeah, oh no, that's not allowed. Don't be having that.
Well, you know, one thing I have to say is, well, aren't you lucky that you don't have to deal with those questions?
Yeah.
Like, aren't you lucky that your life is so simple, because it's not that simple for a lot of people.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he's coming from this massive place of privilege, not realizing that because he's cisgender, a lot of society is kind of set up for him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get that, you know, he's actually saying like healthcare should just be based upon your biological sex. And then he incorrectly said, you know, because man and woman. And it's like, well, you do know that there's more than two sexes. So even if you're trying to go down that road, you're actually wrong.
Yeah.
So.
And you're a twat, let's just say it.
I don't know if it's because like the richer you get, the more stupid you become, or what the story is. But like,
well, at some point, you have to remember that you weren't always that rich. Yeah. Or if you were always that rich, well, then maybe you shouldn't be making choices for society.
Well, the problem is
you have no idea what's going on outside your own house.
The problem is they're making choices that kind of positively affect them, the minority, rather than the majority, which is always fun. So
there's Cosmic Peaches. Daniela, we were talking about you, my darling.
She's probably been very busy doing her university work.
Oh, nice, nice. You know, the other thing I wanted to say about Daniela, because I plan to do a chinwag with her, and I still want to, Daniela. I still want to. But we've both been kind of busy. But I called her. Do you remember those Mitchell palettes that were cream products? One was a face one, one's bright colors, you know.
Yeah.
I contacted her because I was just perplexed. I said, what the hell is this? What are these things? And she explained it all to me, and I was very impressed that she took the time, because she certainly, like, I'm not a patron. I'm subscribed to her YouTube channel and her Instagram, but it was I was very impressed that she took that time, because a lot don't.
Oh, I know, she's
And
fantastic. But even when she was over here and we were hanging out, I had tried out we tried out the House Labs, what do you call it, foundation. And I was
oh
like,
yeah,
oh my God, this is terrible. Why does this look so awful on me? And I was like properly upset because I was like, oh my God, I've spent like a whack of money on this. This is terrible.
yeah.
And she went off and she like basically did the research on it and was like, no, you're not using the correct primer with it. And I happen to have the
Oh,
primer that you should use with it because there's like specific ingredients that would mean that it wouldn't work well together with something else.
right, right.
So
Yeah.
she told me then what to use, and then it's been sheer perfection
Oh,
since.
that's so good.
Oh, it's
I hate
actually,
to think that Lady Gaga has put her name on some crappy product.
yeah, I will say it's one of the best foundations I've ever tried.
Oh, is that
So,
right?
oh, I loved it. Loved it. So
You know
I
what
was so
foundation
glad.
impressed me when I tried it was Chloe had sent me that Sheen balm.
Yes,
That was
that's so good,
amazing.
isn't
Oh,
it?
I mean, I'm so glad I was given it and tried it, but I wouldn't buy only because I just don't buy stuff like that. But
Yeah,
um, I was so impressed to try it, and it certainly has since then with a lot of the balm products that are coming out right now. It's given me at least a better understanding.
yeah. No, that was, I think, what it retails for like $8 or something like that. It's extremely inexpensive.
Yeah, yeah.
They've done a lot of like really good like liquid products and cream products of late, so they're definitely one to keep an eye out. I like seeing kind of more affordable brands because like not everyone has the budget to go out and
No.
buy the expensive stuff. So I always appreciate seeing that because I feel like if you like makeup and beauty, it should be accessible to as many people as possible.
Oh, exactly. So I am going to take a little. I still have this NYX glitter glue. I love it.
I was literally just talking to Daniela about that because I was talking about how I have a Too Faced one and I want to use it up, and she was like, "Ugh, the Too Faced one is no good. Get the NYX one." And I was like, "Yes, okay, will do." On
I
the
used
list.
to, it's funny, you know, the stuff that I used to use when I first started doing all of this, like 15 years ago. Um, like no one had used primer. All the makeup experience that I had, there was no primer. But
Yeah,
then we were putting on, you know, pan stick like theater makeup. You don't need primer; it's so thick, you know. And I tried the Urban Decay primer, and I couldn't get over how it dried out my eyelids, and I didn't realize that different products can dry out different areas in different ways, and
yeah.
like it was just amazing to me. All right, where did I put that glitter? God damn it! Oh, it's right back here. This is the new me. I put things away, and now I can't find nothing.
Fair.
I just need you all to be aware of what's going on. All right, this is this pigment from Plouise. I'm just going to put it in my corner area. Look at that. Oh, so bright. Woo. I also got from Rude Cosmetics some brilliant glitter liners. Do you remember the
Ooh,
ones you sent me 100 years
yes,
ago?
yes.
So this I would equal to those.
Ah,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, they're really gorgeous. I'll show them to you.
Yes, please.
Oh, I don't have them here. Oh, they're here, dude.
Don't be teasing me.
I put it away. Now I don't know where I put it. Yeah, I really like Rude Cosmetics. Their palettes are great. I don't want to give anyone the wrong impression,
Mm.
but they're not drag great. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're just a little uh, talky for me, or not as intense as I'd like them to be. Although there are some palettes that are, but the general root of them. But these are the glitter liners.
oh,
That's
lovely.
silver. And this is the opal. Yeah, that's the opal.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, and they just like I don't know if if you'll be able to see it on my hand, but
Oh yes.
yeah. So I like to use I'm going to use I'm going to use a silver one in my cut crease. But yeah, I quite like that. I also am using right now from them a setting spray because they had a
Oh,
sale a little while back, and so I thought, oh, I'll give that a go. I'll give this a go. You know, all the little things. And
I
yeah,
mean, their stuff
so,
is solid. Like it's good quality for the price.
yeah, yeah. But I also find with most companies, like the tertiary products, often are good for whoever. But it's the eyeshadow palettes that can kind of separate the girls from the drag queen.
Yeah, yeah.
And so for me, my hallmark is, well, how are your palettes? And if they have at least one good palette for drag,
Mm,
then that's fine for me. I don't need them all to be good for drag.
yeah.
Also, like so many products, you know, when we see those neutral palettes coming down the pike during wedding season and that, and all of us unicorns are all like, oh, it's embarrassing. Why do we have to have another one? It's like, well, there are hundreds of people where that's daring.
Yeah.
Ooh, brown on my eyelids? How? Oh, you know, horrors
What
of me.
innovation?
Yeah, no. Next, I'll
Although
be
I will
plucking
say,
my eyebrows.
like I will say, because like you know me, I'm a colorful gal. I like the colors, but I think because you see, for me, neutrals are always like I don't know what to do with them,
Well,
and
you've got such beautiful eyes. You've got those Irish eyes, and you just do a one wash of like a brown or a blush across you, and you get those contours that just make your Irish eyes better. So, suck it is the rest of that sentence.
well, you see, I've been trying to break out of like my comfort zone and use stuff that I wouldn't normally be comfortable with. Because
Yeah.
like with neutrals, I kind of go, oh, what do I do with this? I don't really like. I feel like you have to be really good to make neutrals look interesting. So I'm like, oh, I don't know if I have that level of fit, but I'm like, I'm trying. So I'm trying new bits, and I am liking it a little bit more. I mean, I'll still always go for the color and be like, that's my jam. This is the thing I enjoy, but I kind of get the appeal. I mean,
Yeah.
if you put a gun to my head and ask me what my absolute favorite is, I will still be like, color, give me a
Yeah.
green palette.
But I admire people that can use those neutral tones, like those skin tones, because it's not in my wheelhouse. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? I have to really make a conscious effort, which
Did
is
you
funny
end up?
because
Did you ever end up getting this blush palette?
no, but I have. Oh, and I meant to get. I'll go grab it. But I have a 3-pan palette of Plouise.
Yes.
Remember, I said you wanted to send it to me, and I said, well, I really am kind of happy with the blushes that I do have from Plouise.
Yeah.
I feel it would get lost on me. And then you sent me the Blend Bunny one, Juicy Cheeks,
Yeah.
which I'm much happier with. No offense to Plouise or the Plouise people, but I feel like the 3 that I got randomly from them are perfect.
Yeah.
And you know, there's what in there 8. That's almost too many. 8 or 10, right?
8. Yes, and they're
Yeah.
all pinks.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. It's like that's fine, but ooh, I don't know if I need another pink. You know.
Yeah, yeah, totally fair. Like I happened to get this in a budget box, so like I wasn't unhappy with it, but I don't think I'd have like run out and purchased this per se, you know?
No.
And good
Yeah,
for
I
you.
wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be upset getting that in a budget box.
Yeah. Although I swear to God, if she puts one more fucking lip balmy,
oh, they're gonna get a slap.
I just can't cope with it. Because I have had stuff that they gave this time last year of lip balm, and I'm still using it. And then like 2 budget box later, or 2 budget boxes later, they've got another one, and I'm like, why? Why have we got this? But
Well,
I don't.
when you opened your advent calendar last year and had them, I was like, that's cheeky.
Yeah, I was not pleased.
No. Did you order the other calendar this year?
Wilma, my love, don't ask silly questions. Of course I did.
I can't wait to see what's in it, oh God!
I'm stupid and make financially irresponsible decisions. But you see, I was saying this to my friend Kate, who I was hanging out with at the weekend, and I was just saying, like, I spent all last year saving to get like the mortgage, and now I'm like, oh well, I've got the mortgage and I'm paying the mortgage, so now I just buy everything. I'm like, don't do this, Teresa. You do need to start saving again. So I need to like stop being so silly. But I did go for that advent calendar, but also the 2 gloss gods, because they did say that the cheaper one has like some discontinued stuff, like stuff that had been limited edition and is no longer available. And I'm like, oh, okay, because there's 1 or 2 palettes that I never got from them and you can't get them anymore. And I'm like, okay, I would like this, and I like all of their products, so I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah, I'm not worried too much one way or the other this year with that stuff. But I'll tell you, when the Plouise Advent calendar came around, I thought, oh, I missed an opportunity because I'm on a year-long no-buy, but it's just I just haven't buying. It's not like I've been taking the money I would normally buy and put it in a jar for something.
Yeah.
But next year, I might do a no-buy this year coming to buy the calendar next year.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like save up and then it's there.
Yeah. And what a nice treat.
Because I just forgot it was coming. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was not something I was remembering.
I'm guaranteed, though, you'll forget that it's coming again next year.
I don't know. It was so beautiful this year. And also, you know, the year to get it. Because after all of the, this is dupes and it's all this, you know, there was a lot of fallout.
Yeah.
In the P. Louise verse over repeated shades and repeated products and stuff. So I for one think that they're guaranteeing nothing in this has been previously released.
Well then,
unique to this
because I know there was the 12-day and there was the 24-day.
Yeah, I had the 12-day.
I went for the 24-day.
Yeah.
So we're due for a big video.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun to watch. I enjoyed watching your last year. You know what? I've also been lately really enjoying your haul videos.
Oh yeah, they're ridiculous.
Well, it's funny because if you sit there and watch them, you're like, what is this woman doing? She's just coughing money out at these but you've bought this stuff over a period of time.
Oh yeah. It's all shit I bought since like March.
Yeah, you just haven't had time to, get into it. So
yeah.
I love watching people unbox things because, just because I didn't buy it doesn't mean somebody else can't have it.
Yeah. Well, and I'm also like, I have friends come over sometimes and they'll go straight through my collection and just be like, here, I'm grabbing this, and they'll take it away for a few days and then they'll come back with it. And I'm like, yes, it's a makeup repository, like a library.
Yeah.
Just bring it back and make sure it's not completely destroyed.
Yeah, right.
That's all I ask. I don't think that's too much.
No. Now, have you used this bronzer yet?
I did. I just used it there earlier.
What did you think?
I thought it was grand. Like, it seemed to have meshed quite well. Like, I mean, hold on. Seems to have meshed pretty well.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not unhappy. And I also used this little face palette as well that they did. So I used the brown.
I have mine as well. Yeah, I'm going to use that to finish as well.
Yeah. I was like, okay, that'll do. Actually, I have to say I'm quite proud of myself. I did this quite quickly.
Yeah, you look great.
Well done, me.
I'm almost there. It'll take me a few more minutes.
I'm just going to grab a spray because I can already feel my face is like crying out for moisture.
Moisture.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
That'll do, pig. That woman from Magda, from Kath and Kim, who plays Sharon. Sharon. She was in Babe.
Ah.
She's the farmer's wife.
Oh, yes.
Because I was watching Kath and Kim in the initial stages going, who is this woman that she's been separated? Like, because she's and starring or guest starring Magda, whatever her name is.
Mm.
I kept wondering, why is she singled out? And then I realized, oh, because she actually is quite famous. Especially like to be in such a cultural hit like that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that movie will never not be shown because it's a kid's film.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
I don't know how I'm looking to you. I'm going to glue on my eyelashes and then I'm going to. Oh, God. So it's Thanksgiving today, or tomorrow, Monday. But I'm going over to Ted and Jeff's and Wilhelmina and Jeff's. And the thing is, I go to their place every year normally, but when I got sick, I stopped. I was just not well, and I kept lying to them and saying I couldn't. I told them I was visiting my brother, and I told my brother I was going to their place, so I didn't have to go to anybody's place. For like 3 years, I just hunkered down and didn't tell anybody what was going on. And this is the palette that I got, the little one. This is the Dream one. And I have to say, I think that color story is perfect for me.
Yeah.
I'm using this bronzer right now as a contour over here, and that I'm going to use these highlighters. I'm also using this highlighter that I got from the advent calendar, the mini I got last year. This is the Hollywood Hills. It's kind of gold. Yeah. And then I'm finishing everything off with I have this cream blush in coral. This is one of their early cheeky, like old labeling. So I'm going to use this one on my cheeks to see, because I don't wear coral. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like the thing I always say to people about drag queens is like, I could be any skin tone I want. I don't have to match mine. You know, like if I go to the store to replace foundation and the only foundation they have is a shade or two darker or lighter than me, it doesn't matter if that's what I'm using because it's covering everything. But I prefer, to use something a little more close to my skin tone because then at least I feel like it's a natural complexion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this. This isn't too dark. And then the peach that's in there is kind of coral. So I actually have been using the liquid blushes more.
Yeah.
And I'm actually quite enjoying these. Look at these. Chloe sent me these. I've been using these. Is Chloe still there? So it's a sponge like a ghost. And then a caramel corn. Or a candy corn. Do you guys get candy corns in England or Ireland?
No, we don't. But like, obviously, we watch enough like American shows, etc., to be like, we know what it is, but it's not available here.
No. Yeah, I can't imagine that. Like it's shaped like a corn kernel, but it's brown, orange, and yellow stripe, and it's just sugar. It has no taste at all. I don't think. Like I certainly don't think they taste like anything. Like if they taste like anything, they taste like candy corn, but do they taste like corn? No.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just like, like marshmallow peeps. They just taste like marshmallow peeps. They're not.
Yeah. You can't like compare them to anything outside.
No.
That
and then, what I always think of as being very British, I don't know if it's an Irish thing, but in Britain it's the orange chocolate.
Oh, like Terry's chocolate orange, yeah.
Just the flavor, orange and chocolate, is so British to me, and I hate it. I can't stand the chocolate orange.
Really?
Yeah, no, there's something about, or I just don't find that. Maybe if I had dark chocolate with it, it would taste better. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it
no,
might
I
be.
have never enjoyed a Terry's orange.
Oh, I love a Terry's chocolate
We
orange.
have
Like
them here.
I love a chocolate orange cake or a chocolate orange muffin, you
See,
know?
I would, I think they would taste different than the
Than like a solid chocolate.
yeah. I just find
Yeah,
with the chocolate thing, it's just not doing it for me.
fair. Totally fair. It might be that like the texture and consistency, because like I find when it's like a chocolate orange cake or muffin or whatever, it has that lovely moistness, and you can
Yeah,
actually take like because they put actual orange into it, not like pretend orange or
orange rind.
flavor.
Yeah,
They put like the actual flavors in, so it's like, oh, okay, this
yeah.
tastes nice.
It's not just a picture on the box.
Yeah,
Now, I I'm getting this month, the September budget box,
ooh, yes, yes, yes.
because that's supposed to have one of the two Halloween palettes in
Yeah,
it. And I'm hoping I get the Touch of Magic one or a Drop
yeah,
of Magic, the dark one,
that
because
was
I won't
very.
be upset if I get the other one. I won't.
Yeah,
But but I feel like I kind of have a lot of color stories like that one. I don't need more.
yeah. Now they actually have the two palettes up on their website
Yeah,
for pre-order.
yeah, yeah. I saw that. They're
I think that was smart.
$61 Canadian.
Yeah,
So I'm certainly not gonna bother. But
I think they were smart to do that though, because
pre-order, yeah.
yeah, because like a lot of people seem to be into that one. So
Well, it's really and I have to tell you, I think you said this as well. I don't mind the book
yeah,
format. It doesn't bother me. Like I have one. This was the thing that killed me. So I got some brushes from Plouise.
yeah,
They were on deep discount, and it was when I was going to buy the purple palette, and it wasn't there out of stock. So I thought, oh, I'll buy some of these brushes because they were like two-thirds less. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It was ridiculous. And they came in a box that looks like a book. And when they came, I got a bundle of just the brushes in little plastic sleeves and the book separate.
Oh,
Yeah, like they weren't in the book. I had to open the book and put the brushes in there. But I didn't put them in there because I used something else. So what I did with the brushes is what I did with um, the book is I use it to store uh, sponges.
yeah.
But yeah, it really was a surprise to me that they would package them separate. And then my thing is, I wish P. Louise would give you the option. Like with something like that, yes, I'd like to save money on the environment. Please don't send me more garbage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like I feel like with somebody like P. Louise, I love their packaging. Don't get me wrong. There's something so unnecessary about it that it just makes me feel special. Which is why Gucci's a brand, which is why Louis Vuitton is vinyl.
yeah,
Nobody should be spending that money for vinyl. But at least they're not killing cats. But the
yeah.
thing is, it's like it's that prestige, and there's something about a P. Louise palette that it's heavy, it's uncomfortable, it's awkward, it's silly, and I can't love it anymore.
Yeah.
I've been using Trixie Mattel did some brushes, and
Oh,
my friend Martha out in Vancouver sent them to me. There were five in the. This was from the candy shop or the sweet shop collection, but they're really great brushes. But they have this clear acrylic handle, and there's a Trixie logo right there, uh, and they're lovely. But the handle looks so cheap. It
oh,
got smoky right away. Like it used to look clear like glass, and just being in the thing, they gone smoky. But they
oh,
are excellent quality brushes, and they weren't
oh.
expensive. But yeah, it's so funny because no offense to anybody, but when you stack up the P. Louise stuff brushes next to um, other brushes,
Mm.
you could really see what where quality is. Sorry, I'm just rolling out of camera angle to get my setting spray, which I left over here like an idiot.
Excellent.
And I'm almost done. This is something I do for highlight on my cheeks.
Ooh.
Is I take the setting spray and I just put a little on my cheeks, and while it's still wet, so this is the highlight in pink from here.
Yes.
This palette, the little highlight. So, and it'll shine that more.
Yeah.
And now I'm still keeping some of that on there, and I'm going into the other one, this brighter one. Oh, that's beautiful. It's very gold.
Nice.
So not likely to use these colors. Yeah, so it's Thanksgiving in Canada today, and not I don't really celebrate Thanksgiving. As I say, I go to Ted and Jeff's. I'm rolling out a camera shot again to get my blush, but I'll keep talking. But we always call it rehearsal for Christmas.
Yes.
Because Ted and Nina and Jeffrey make a hell of a Christmas dinner, but they always do a test run with Thanksgiving. We make the exact same thing for Christmas and Thanksgiving. I think most people do.
Yeah.
I know my friend Martha in Vancouver was saying that she does ham for Thanksgiving. So here's the blushes that I have from Plouise, but they're square pan. Like I got way more blush in there. But that's I got this in a budget box.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I love these. So I'm just going to, there's this one light color that I normally use. I'm actually not going to use this. I want to use the coral in here too, because I never use this. Yeah, so this is a pink, and then a purple, and then this is the coral, which I hardly ever use. So I want to just take advantage of the coral.
Oh, take advantage of a coral?
Yes, you heard me.
You must ask for consent first, please.
Well, may I take advantage of your coral?
There you go.
As long as I don't touch it, move it, or let it dry out in the sun.
Yes, then you're fine.
So you guys don't give thanks because you were always happy where you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like the new world people who suffered hardship and scurvy.
I mean, we suffered hardship, but we didn't move from where we were to suffer the hardship.
No. Do you guys have a pre-Christmas or a harvest? So you do solstice any?
I mean, obviously Halloween is our big thing. Like it's from Ireland. So that would be like traditionally a very big Irish thing. So we would celebrate that quite a bit. That's the only thing kind of pre-Christmas for us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you, because my family's Scottish, although I've never been there. But the Gaelic.
Yes.
Are they different for both countries, or are they rooted in the same?
They're rooted in the same. Like I would speak, like even in Ireland, you have slightly different dialects depending upon what part of Ireland you're in.
Yeah, right.
So like you'll have like different kind of endings of words, but the common root. But if you go over to Scotland and you speak Irish, like Gaelic, Irish Gaelic, then you will have enough to know what's going on. Like a lot of their signs are in a very similar language to ours, so you can figure it out.
Right.
But that's because, like, say, the Irish that you have at the very north of Ireland, that's very Scottish influenced.
Well,
a lot of the Scots would come over during the 1600s and settled there. Like they were given land to settle there. Most of the Northern Irish would have like Scottish descent.
Because even though my family's from Glasgow. I'm not from there myself, and
Oh,
I always people used to say, "Is it Scottish or Irish?" And I would say it doesn't really, like, because
honestly.
to me it doesn't. Without trying to sound glib, but I felt as a Canadian there's so many similarities.
Oh, hugely, hugely.
And then you go to Newfoundland here in Canada, and it's all Scottish and Irish.
Yeah.
Like the
But even,
Newfie accent is amalgamation of Scottish and Irish people, and rum.
but I know that, like, say in Newfoundland, there was a lot of people that went there from the county that I'm originally from,
Mhm.
Mayo. And if you actually listen to their accent, of all of the Irish accents, it sounds the most like the Mayo accent.
Isn't that funny?
So it's really, really interesting because there's whole villages that if you go to here in Ireland that were just completely abandoned during the famine. So they were
Oh,
left just as they were.
yeah,
Um, and like you can see that obviously they went off to like Nova Scotia and Newfoundland and all of these places, and it's just really interesting to kind of see they just left as it was, and because we have such a small population, nobody moved into it, so it's
right.
all just left as it was.
I
I
got
put on
this.
very romantic lashes.
I got this lipstick and liner from Plouise, and the lipstick is rose. Oh, rose garden, but it's coral.
Oh,
It's a rich coral, bricky color. I really like it. And it came with a liner, a matching liner. The liner is not matching specifically because it's actually called something else. It's called Ruby Slipper, but it's very
yes.
brown too. And I like it, but it's so soft. Look how small my pencil is. I've used it 2 times. It's half the
Oh,
size.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so soft. I have to almost sharpen it to do the bottom lip.
That's funny though, because I have a liner here. It's Shady Lady, because I
Mhm.
did use as much P. Louise as possible, and I don't have that. So I'm wondering if it's like a formula that's specific to just that shade.
It could be. I don't mind that it's soft. It's just a
Mm,
little too soft for maybe my hand.
yeah.
But I love that lipstick, that bullet lipstick. Like that's lovely. Yes, more for that, please. And I do like the liner. It goes on well, but I just find it. I was a little less pressy with it this time, so maybe that helped. Um, oh, I also have my Watch the Queen Conquer. I was wondering if there was anything in here. Oh, I know. Ooh, look at this color in Watch the Queen Conquer on the purple orange side. It's called Rival.
Yes.
It's the orangey yellowy shimmer.
Mm.
Oh yeah, it looks terrible. I've also been lately taking. Oh, my eye!
Ah!
My good eye! Oh God! What a world! I've been taking like a small little lippy. That's too frizzy. Oh, this is good. So here's the Trixie Mattel. This is a concealer brush. It's just a little
Oh,
tiny little thing, but it's So what I've been doing lately with my lip liner is I'm going into like darker tones and shadow and lining my lip with them.
oh, nice.
This could help me ombre them a little.
There, I think I'm done.
I just gotta throw in my eyelashes and my hair. Give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Oh, I'm just gonna grab a hairbrush because my hair is doing weird things. And I will say my hair is also like a little bit dried out because I was hanging out with my friend and we went and stayed at like this Airbnb that's not that far away from me, like an hour's drive. And where we were, it had a hot tub.
Oh,
So we spent like our evening in the hot tub, uh, just relaxing. And I will say though, just my hair can't cope with like chlorine and stuff.
no.
So yeah, my hair is like all dried out. So
I used to be a swimmer in school, which was weird because I was fat and uncomfortable without a shirt on, but I was a good swimmer.
mm.
And yeah, the chlorine just screwed my hair up.
Oh yeah, it absolutely destroys it. So I had to come back and put like some argan oil in, which has helped slightly.
Mhm. My God, I love this palette. I'm sorry, but I don't pick this up near as much as I should. But when that purple palette came out, I had a look at this. You know, you're not suffering without that purple palette if you have this.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's the thing about Plouise that I do like is they've got you don't have to buy everything, but they're MUA minded. So it's like if you need a palette of purples that'll work for everyone, here you go.
Yeah.
You know, but not everyone needs to buy that. Eyelashes. Sorry, I'm trying to think. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I have these. My friend Lisa Oki sent me all these lashes that she had bought for herself but never used. And
Oh.
one of them are these Ardell, these cheap little baby Ardell. But you see how spaced they are? I'm
Yeah.
going to use them on my bottom.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think they're going to be cute. So we're going to do that. That's the first thing. And then I have a fabulous wig. Again, David Burkett. He's like the closest I'll ever be able to get to a sugar daddy. He sends me like he's a makeup and hair. He worked with the BBC, and so he's very interested not only in what I'm doing as Wilma, but like I've worked in film and wardrobe, film and television doing wardrobes, so we have similar experiences. And every once in a while, he'll send me something that I wasn't particularly looking at or in need of, but it's always like the best thing.
Oh.
Like those P. Louise paints. I really like would never have bought them on my own.
He's your enabler. Like Daniela is
Oh
my
my God. Oh, he's such
Daniela
a
just gives me information and I'm like,
yeah.
okay, I will use this information.
I don't know, between David Burkett and Martha out in Vancouver, she just contacted me the other day and said, "Do you want my Chucky palette?"
Oh.
And I said, "Yes, give it to me now." Before I said, "Oh, are you sure?"
No take backs.
Yeah. I'm coming now. I'm leaving now.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well, I expect a whole fabulous look from that ASAP. Please.
Well, if it gets here soon enough, I might use it for my review of Death Becomes Her. I want to do it for Halloween.
I'm so excited because anytime you do a movie or makeup and movies, they're my favorite. They're my. Can I just say, you know, the Princess Bride one that you did which I still say is like that's for me. That's my video. I watch that. I'd say maybe once a week.
It's fantastic.
I watch your video once a week.
My video.
Yeah, your video once a week. Because it's the special place for me of like I love this film, but you're giving me facts about the film.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, and it's you. So I'm like, oh my God, this is like just the perfect mesh of like everything that I enjoy. So I watch it every so often.
Well, thanks. They're my favorite thing to do, and I wish that I could crank them out faster. I would like to do one a week, but they do take research time, and they do take time to edit after the fact, and then assembling all the pictures. That's the other thing. Like when I was a kid, we used to go to the library with our school, and they would show like Government of Ontario films. These were different films that were funded by the Government of Ontario. Some of them were kids educational, some of them were historic, like maybe it was like a I don't know, a film about like maybe, I don't know, I couldn't tell you a Canadian history thing because I'm just a bad Canadian. But uh, but we also have here in Ontario the Ontario Film Board, or there's also the National Film Board of Canada, and we
Hmm.
have films like there was a cartoon called The Big Snit that came out of on Canada, and it was a cartoon couple, and this one woman kept taking her eyes off her head and shaking them and putting them back on. They're playing a board game, and he's like, "Stop shaking your eyes! You're always shaking to the left, shaking to the right." And he keeps picking up a saw and trying to saw the table. It's like, "What are you doing?" "Nothing, nothing." It's the stupidest thing, but these were kind of things that you would see at the library on a school trip. These really odd little films. Like there was another film that was the Log Riders waltz, and it started off, you saw like a turn of the century French toot, red and black coated guy on logs with a hook pulling the logs along on a moving river, and as they moved along it became a cartoon. And then there was this song, log rider likes to go down and down and down and down the white water. That's where the log rider learns to step lightly. And that's all. It's just some old Canadian sing song. Someone did a cartoon too, and it's now a Government of Canada award-winning film. And so these were the kind of things that you used to see. And I loved how bright the colors were. So when I'm editing my movie and makeup, because I totally stole it from Bailey Sari in Murder and Makeup. It's movies and makeup. It's the same concept.
Yeah.
I don't tell you what I'm doing with my makeup, really. I mean, I might tell you a little, but it's about the film.
Yeah.
And so I love finding. I like finding out things that I didn't know. Also, there's some things that I go into the film. Oh, I knew this. I knew this fact, and then I'm in the film, watching it and realize as I'm researching that the thing I thought was a real thing that I've been thinking for years isn't in fact part of the film at all, and I need to stop saying that out loud.
Oh, but like you can tell it takes so much research.
Oh,
Like
I love it.
the amount that you get out of that is like incredible.
All right, are you ready for this wig?
Yes.
Okay, so David Burkett sent me this. Drag Race.
Yes.
So in America, they had Courtney Act from Australia on the American one.
Yeah.
She part owner of a wig company in Australia called Vanity Wigs. They're an excellent, excellent wig company. I highly recommend anybody who wants to get a wig, go on their website, because they have 250% density. They have lace front as well as hard front. So David said, "Have you ever had a vanity wig?" And I said, "No, because I'm sending you one." And he sent me this one. Now, this is a hard front wig. But look at the color. And it's almost like a mullet shape. But I have to tell you that the style of this wig, now I styled this particularly like this. This is how I used to wear my hair back in the 80s. This is Richard Ryder walking around the streets of Toronto hair. Not Wilma Fingerling. Isn't it gorge?
Oh, it's amazing.
So, yeah, I just style, like, it's the thing with this wig, because it's got a permatease in the base, so you really almost just have to manipulate the curl that's in it to go in a direction. But yeah, I think that this looks great. I don't wear this wig here enough, but it's mostly because when I first got it, I ruined it. I tried to style it in a way that it wasn't meant to be styled in. But yeah, it's just so 90s too, isn't this like Gem and the Holograms hair?
It's brilliant. Yeah. Oh, I love it. And I think as well, like, it goes with the makeup look.
Thanks, yeah. And I'm finishing the ensemble off with a t-shirt from my hit TV show, Knock Knock Ghost. And this t-shirt you can get from my good friend, turniptees.com. Turnip, like a turnip?
Yeah.
Tees, T-S.com. And if that's not it, I'll put a link up in the description box of this later. But he designed this shirt for me, and we've just never Tees, T-E-E-Z, T-E-E-Z, Turnip Tees.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I love it. I'm a knocker, but that's what I call, like, I don't know why, but when we started the show, because I'm the host of it, I start the show by saying, "Hey, knockers." Mostly
Fabulous.
because I hate the name of the show. I hate the name Knock Knock Ghost. I mean, I get it now. Now I'm fine. But when we started filming it, it's like, cut. You know it's a stupid name, right? Shut up and get back to one.
Curses.
I love working on that show though. The production crew are crazy. The production crew for Knock Knock Ghost is the same production crew who is creating and producing So Fierce. If you've not seen it, it's on Out TV in Canada. But Out TV is now showing stuff on Pluto.tv, which is a free streaming site. I don't know if you've heard of this, but like they have one channel on Pluto.tv that is just Fear Factor. So all I do is watch a 40-year-old younger Joe Rogan with some hair on his head being all cute and straight boy make people eat gross things for the better part of like 4 hours while I'm putting on makeup. Or there's one channel that's just I Love Lucy. It's just I Love Lucy repeats. And so for 3 or 4 days, it'll be a certain cycle, and then they'll cycle some out and cycle some in. So it keeps changing. There's a Fraser channel. There's like the one game show, like Game Show, so Deal or No Deal, Fear Factor, a couple of other stuff. I don't watch all of it, but one of the things that they started at Pride this year was Pride programming, and they got most of it off of Out TV. So you can actually watch Knock Knock Ghost for free on Pluto.tv. It's not always there, but Pluto.tv has 2 sections. The streaming side, where you just turn it on and you let it run.
Yeah.
And then there's the streaming side, which is you can actually lock onto one thing. And what they did with Pluto TV before the Mission Impossible 7 came out, they had all the Mission Impossible movies from 5 o'clock till 11 o'clock. Like not all running, but they had them available on the streaming. You could watch any of all 6 of them there for free. You didn't have to log on to somebody. And Out TV for Pride was streamed, and it still is. So you can see So Fierce, Knock Knock Ghost, Call Me Mother. That's another Out TV produced show that does drag. It's a drag contest. Camp Wanakiki. You could see that as well. That's all Out TV stuff only. So yeah, I highly recommend it. If you've never heard of Pluto.tv, a friend of mine suggested it to me, and I'll tell you, at first I was like, why would I watch this? And because sometimes I just get too busy, I'll turn on the TV to do something. Sometimes I turn on the TV to go to bed. Like, I need that noise, just so I'm not. Because sometimes, like earlier today, when I was getting ready for this and trying to not be embarrassed by the amount of Plouise I owned,
Same.
TV stopped. Like whatever, I was watching a movie and it stopped, and I was like, oh, I got to put something on. And the longer I worked in silence, the more like, it just made me nervous that it was. I can't get over how beautiful this is.
You look fabulous.
And this base from Plouise, this is my favorite on camera because I'm not too. But I'm wondering if I should have done pink instead of the coral with this, because
I don't know. I like the coral with that.
I feel so Dresden-y, like white.
Yeah.
I look lighter than you. That can't be good. Because what's whiter than you? Ghosts.
Pretty much. I mean, sometimes when I'm wandering around old castles that we're like touring at, people just mistake me as one of the ghosts.
Oh, Shan is here. I'm just looking through the oh God, Daniela's going to be at the dentist on Halloween. Martha's here. Grunwald from out west. We were talking about you, Martha. I'm sure you heard. Daniela says she regrets nothing, Teresa.
Fair.
I'm just catching up on seeing who's here before we wrap this up. But yeah, so Thanksgiving in Canada, I don't know, like we always celebrated it around now, but it's always around the solstice. Do you know what I mean? Like the harvest, because that makes sense. I don't understand what was the reasoning behind the Americans doing it a month later, but I do feel that if they started it after we did, then there was still some bitter Brendas over the War of 1812. They just wanted to separate us from the chaff, and oh no, we'll do it after that. We'll do it after. It'll be bigger.
I mean, it probably was just to have that cultural differentiation of like, no, we are separate, we are other.
Yeah. Because the other thing that I find funny in Canada, like now, keep in mind, I grew up with our Thanksgiving in October,
Yeah.
and that made sense. And then when you get to the American Thanksgiving, which is a month away from Christmas, like two big meals like that, come on. Also, all that money spending is happening. Like Black Friday happens then. It's like, like I feel like we kind of there's a pace. You get to digest a meal before you go crazy and kill each other in the mall. But the Black Friday phenomenon has over the years become more universal, but it was always like from the Cabbage Patch Kids, it was always an American thing.
Yeah.
Because the Cabbage Patch Kids weren't really global at the time that they became that thing everyone had to have. And so in America, that's where that Black Friday madness happened, was people trying to get a Cabbage Patch doll. And now it's about, smart TVs and
That's
toilets that
mad.
blow your fanny dry. And yes, I meant fanny the way you do.
I had no idea that was the origin of it. Like Black Friday has kind of come over here, I'd say, in the last 5-ish years, something like that. Like it definitely wasn't a thing when I was a kid or a teenager or even in my early 20s. It's very, very recent. Now we don't do it in the same way that it seemed like the way that it's portrayed in America, and I could be completely wrong, so bear with me, but it's very like people queuing outside of stores and stuff. Now we wouldn't do that.
Overnight for weeks on end. Like some people will camp outside like for a couple of days leading up to the sale, because they'll always have that door crasher special of like one 4,000 square inch TV for $6. But they only have the one and it's already been bought by the owner's daughter. Or something. I don't know. I'm probably lying because I don't do those things. Like, but in Canada, we were very aware of Black Friday because a lot of Canadians would go down to America to get a deal. So that was always fun having that proximity.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not. Black Friday was something that I noticed building up here.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Canadian thing, and now it's I don't know. I don't ever want to beat somebody up for a toy.
Yeah.
Or for food for that matter. I don't think that we should have to. I mean, it's going to get there. But if somebody I know's happiness hangs in the balance on whether or not I can find and afford A, B, or C, well, I think they have issues with happiness and maybe need different friends. But at the same time, like I certainly understand. Like, there's been stuff I've wanted in life, but it's like, oh, I'd like that, but
yeah.
Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. Sometimes they were what you were hoping they would be. Sometimes they're a huge disappointment, but
I understand kind of going, okay, I'm gonna wait it out and see if I can get it in a sale. But I usually do that with stuff that I'm like, okay, I'm not like obsessed about this. I'm not like, oh, I really, 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 really want this. And the way that I view a sale is, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. And it's fine. It's not a big issue. But I think there is like a little bit of a cultural thing there as well of kind of expectations around these things.
Yeah. I find for me, I noticed this with my generation as I was in America. We got this chain called Sugar Mountain in Toronto, but these are nostalgia candy stores. They're just candy stores that sell all of the like Charleston Chews and the all of these old especially British candy you can't get here. Like Twizzlers and or Twixes and Time Outs and things like that.
Yeah.
Like a proper dairy milk bar, like, because they're different in England. Like a British chocolate is different than American chocolate, and I won't expect you to believe or trust me, but it's the truth.
Oh no, it's something to do with, there's like a specific acid that's in American and Canadian chocolate that is it uric acid or something? And it's not in
there's a lot of wax in American chocolate. They do a lot of, like, the lesser quality. I'm sure all the fine quality chocolate is fine, but when you start getting it cheap, like I don't even like to think that like the chocolate on a Reese's Pieces but peanut butter cup is actually chocolate. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean? Like, yes, it melts and yes, it holds it together, but
I've
you've
tried
never,
I've tried American chocolate and it's very unpleasant.
yeah, no, yeah, yeah, and I don't know why that is. Like, there's one. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact, that like just the ecology, like the grass. Like, I think cows are more grass fed in Europe and
Yeah.
Canada, and they're more feed oriented here, and you might as well just spray flavor on rocks. You know what I mean? But yeah. So I don't know. I have to say, what I'm changing the subject. I just want you to know I'm changing the subject for two reasons. I started to in my head, then I completely just forgot what we were talking about. I've reached that age where I just stop remembering what I was saying, and I'll just start. I'll go.
I was at that age a long time ago, so you're all right.
Yeah, not bad at 57. It's starting to fall apart. I'll take that. Um, um, but so I have to say, one of the only things that I've ever gotten from Plouise that I did not like. Oh yeah, Chloe's agreeing that America uses a lot of wax in their chocolate. Yeah, artisanal chocolate is where it's at. I just like saying artisanal.
Yeah.
But last spring, do you remember when Plouise had the egg, the Easter egg that was part of
Yes.
like something, and it came with a couple of things in it, and one of them was a double-ended eyeliner
Yes.
or liner, and I got the one that was lavender and pink, and I opened it and poured all the lavender on my desk. Like, it was just,
Oh,
it was no one's fault but my own, because I didn't know how it opened. I'm like, well, I don't know. And so this is another one that I have with the browns. And I
oh
tried to
yes.
use this in my eyebrow today, and I just don't like it. I don't know what it is, but it's like, so each side is, so the brush is attached in the middle, like one of those Star Wars double lightsabers, and so there's the brown side, and then you just draw it on like you would anything. But it's fine.
Yeah, I have the same one. It's the falling
Yeah, that's
line.
exactly it. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
love it myself.
no,
I don't know what it is about the consistency.
yeah.
I think it is the consistency. It's a bit
They haven't come
gloppy.
out with them again. They haven't put this into their store on any level. It's not come out in another budget box or anything. So it must be something that they're working on still. But I love that they throw new stuff into the budget
Yeah.
box just to see what people think. Like, I love that. I love being kind of part of the process, even if it's, I'm still paying for it. But
It's it's smart for like R&D,
yeah,
really. And like they're still getting money out of it.
yeah. And
And
also,
yeah,
I've noticed lately, for me, they've been teasing what's in the budget boxes, because they're not mystery boxes, they're budget
yeah,
boxes.
yeah.
So when I saw the touch of pink was in that budget box, that's why I bought it right then
Yeah.
and there. And I just got it before they went out. And then the next month's budget box, again, I wasn't looking. I'm not jonesing by the door, what's happening, what's happening. But I saw another P. Louise thing, and it was those two books, and one
Yeah.
of them, and I don't want the white one. I want the black one. If I get the white one, I'm going to be a little upset, but it won't ruin my day because I know it'll still be good makeup. But when I saw that, I ordered that one as well, and I haven't seen anything since then, which is I'm grateful for, because I can't afford anything anymore. But
Don't show me anything else.
yeah, no. But one thing I have to say, this year of no buying has done for me that I really, really appreciate is it's really taught me to just look at things and not covet.
Yeah.
And one of the things I enjoy is watching you. Chloe does a new release as well. Chloe's new releases are things that she would have bought specifically.
Yeah.
So it's a much more curated showing. But the thing that I've learned from watching yours over the years is I see dupes in the same palette, or I see like that one color that catches your eyes. Like, ooh, look at that green, and you forgot that there were 14 browns. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Until you get it in your hot little hands, you're like, oh,
Yeah. Oh,
uh,
I only bought it for one
that
shade.
was a mistake. But yeah, I really enjoy the um, just getting. See, I just lost my train of thought again. What were we saying?
You were talking about new releases, and then you said, I really enjoy getting, and it might have been that you were talking about the Plouise budget boxes, because you were
Yeah.
talking.
Oh, I was going to say, but since watching your channel, I've learned now with palettes now, I kind of look at them more objectively. And like there are palettes that come out still, like I think the Chucky and I think the Ghost Face palettes were unique and
Yeah.
stand out. And I wanted both of them. I'm not
Yeah.
buying them, but I really like it was like, oh, if I had it, that's what I would buy. Because there's been a lot of palettes that came out, even that beautiful Cheshire Cat one. I felt that the art was better than the palette itself, although at least they had the same colors in the palette.
Yeah.
There was a bunch that came out this Halloween that were all beautiful on their own and
Yeah.
surprising. I love that there were so many bright colors for this Halloween. But I was able to still go like what was it? The Blend Bunny Halloween palette. What was that one
Yeah.
called?
Sickly Sweet.
Yeah, that to me looks almost exactly like the Juvia's Place Garden palette. It's
Yes.
not, but they're very similar, pastel toned. I like the darker tones that are in the Blend Bunny palette. But yeah, I didn't. I think it was on your review. You showed a photo of that palette set up the way her other ones are,
Yeah.
and it was way more attractive.
Yeah. I understand like why she's doing that, because she doesn't want to be like, oh, this is my thing, and she feels like it's restricted.
But it's something we identify with her brand.
Yeah.
And so many people appreciate that gradated sectioning of like a color wheel almost. It's like it makes sense. So you can see what blends with what and what complements. And if you just have them random slap up, what am I looking at? A
Like
lot of people aren't right.
I feel like it's a pity. Like if she wanted to do the jumbled one, totally fine. But you could do a jumbled version and then a gradient version or something, if that's.
Or just make them removable pens.
Yeah.
And that people do with their own thing, But I do like now, like I spent this year not really wanting a lot of stuff. And like even when the advent calendar for Plouise came out, I was like, ooh, because like last year, but I remember watching you open it, and I was really happy with the 12-day or the 10-day one I had. David Burkett sent me that. But
Yeah.
when I watched you had some similar stuff. You had some stuff I wish I had, some bigger stuff. Yeah. But there was also a lot of filler in yours. You had a cup again.
Yeah.
What the hell? If I get a cup in this year's Gavin, it's going over the back.
They put a cup exactly like that then again in another budget box like a couple of months afterwards, and I was like,
when I got the first plastic tumbler, I think I only got one. I was happy to have it because I drink water all through the summer, and it's nice to have a cup with a dedicated straw. But when I saw other people open it, it's like, what budget box is that? Another cup. It's like the lip duo thing. It's like, yeah, you gotta calm down.
like, just find something else, please. Like, I don't get it. Like,
I think this is a gem in the holograms.
Yes, it's fabulous.
But in a good way.
Yes.
I wish I could remember just one gem in the hologram song. I feel, you know what it is? This could be Bonnie Tyler's hair.
Yes.
We need a hero. I just would like to say this. Why isn't Miranda Hart on TV more, being fabulous and delicious? Why?
Isn't she fantastic, though?
Is she just keeping it all to herself? Does she let 2 or 3 people in at a time and screw the rest of us? And
that's what I'm thinking is occurring, and it's very upsetting.
I watched Spy again with Melissa McCarthy, and my favorite part of that movie is Jason Statham and Miranda Hart. And when I was in England a while back, 3 years ago, before COVID, she was in Annie in the West End as Mrs. Hannigan.
Oh,
And I remember standing at the Tube, seeing the poster going, how much is the West End? Like, there was no way. It was sold out. But it was
yeah.
like, oh, I might have to go. But I thought, well, I'm a Canadian out of town. If I show up at the stage door, they'll be nice to me, won't they?
Yeah. I don't take up much room, I
Call
promise.
me. I'm a colony. Be nice to me.
Miranda is fantastic though. Like I loved her TV show Miranda
Oh,
as well.
the
So
whole
good.
thing, the whole aside thing, or she's like, I never do that. I do that.
All the time.
So
Oh,
funny. And then the woman that played her mother was in the TV series The Lives and Loves of a She-Devil.
yeah.
And she played the mean one in that. And I was so happy to see her as the mother. And what fun. I say what fun now because of that show. And then Stevie, that little tiny woman. I mean, could they have found a more diminutive person to stand next to Miranda? And the fact that she sees that humor of her size.
Yeah.
It's like he stood there, looked at me, and still decided that Sir was the best choice. Like, Patricia Hodge. Thank you, Lady Jenny's here. Lady Jenny knows everything. Don't you try and pass a vague reference past LJ. She'll tell you. Yeah, Patricia Hodge is so funny on that show. And because I haven't seen her since The Lives and Loves of the She-Devil, but that TV, did you ever see that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you have to. The lead actress, and again, I'd seen her before this, but a bit player. But you know how in Britain, you can be a character player and you might be like that face in an American movie and people go, oh, you were that face in the, but in Britain, like, oh, well, you were the star of and you were in this
Yeah.
and you were, and I just feel in Britain, like you can be more original looking.
Yeah.
It not be like a hindrance. Like you have to
Yeah.
look like all these people or you can't be in this TV show. So I can't remember her name. LJ, do you know who was the lead in that? Oh, Julie T. Wallace. And she was great because she's just this lurking, like lurchish shouldered woman. And the movie that they redid with Meryl Streep and Roseanne, whoever was involved in that, I don't care how much they needed the money, they should all be slapped because it wasn't even remotely the same thing. In the movie, I mean, in the TV series, this hard done by woman whose husband cheats on her with this famous writer and leaves her with the kids. She turns around and ruins his life by leaving her kids with him and his new wife, and then paying. She becomes a temp. She creates an empire with a temp company, and all these women are working, and they all come back to her with information about him and this woman, and so she starts unraveling their lives while she's also gaining all this money to eventually turn herself physically into the other woman. She shortens her legs, she dyes her hair, plastic surgery. And so at the end, she is that woman. And I thought that was a much better ending than in the movie where, Roseanne just was triumphant. She ruined their lives and I'm happy now. It's like, I need more consequence.
Oh, okay. I need to have a look at that. That sounds really good.
Oh, it was. If you can find it, I'm sure you can. But The Lives and Loves of a She-Devil is what it was called. And did you ever see the movie with Meryl Streep and Roseanne? Or have you heard of it?
No.
Yeah. Count yourself very lucky. It is awful. Awful. Meryl Streep is hilarious in it. Like, I think that was the first comedy role I saw her play. And it was just too bad that it was that film because she couldn't save it. But I really like her in a comedy because
I just like her in general.
Yeah. Did you see Don't Look Up?
Yes.
Oh my God, so funny. So funny.
She was so good in that.
I was reading somewhere that her scenes as the president, there was one scene where she's on the phone and they're waiting for her to finish. Every time they redid that take for whatever reason, she had a different conversation because it was all made up. All she had to do in the script was like, well, get on it, click. Now what's going on? She had this long conversation with nobody. And every time they were just, what's happening? I'm just looking at my makeup.
Yeah, do. Admire yourself like a parakeet. It's funny because sometimes, when I do releases and that, and I have all of the raw footage, and obviously I'm talking away about like whatever the makeup product is, but I'm looking at the raw footage then, and it's just Tia normally, like she's at some point, because she's the most parakeet of a person.
Oh, like fixing her hair.
And she's just like, look at her.
It's so funny. But she's totally engaged. Like she knows exactly. She's listening to you. But it's
Oh
like
yeah,
out of the corner of her eye, there's that one eyelash hair or that one speckle of glitter that is just not where it ought to be, and she sees it from the distance and just fixes it while you're talking.
I
No,
see. The thing
I
is,
don't
I don't
like
notice.
that.
'Cause, like, I don't notice because she's still talking to me. Like, she's still like
Yeah,
totally
yeah,
engaged.
yeah.
But then I look at the
It's
raw
very
footage
funny.
of her just like doing something, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. No, it's very funny. Um, but yeah, I mean, to be honest though, a lot of the times I'm not watching you. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm listening
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
doing
Well, that's the
something, you
way
know.
it's designed.
But,
Essentially, is it's
but
almost
I
more podcasty.
yeah, but I like when you say, okay, next is, and that's when I look so I could see what the hell you're about to talk about,
Yeah.
and and then I'll watch that for the like sometimes if you're talking about stuff I've already seen, or I'm like, ooh, if I can watch your R&R before buying something, because there's been one or two times where you've just had an honest opinion, you said, and it's like, oh, this is very much, and you've held up palettes or something, and I was like, I have that other palette. I look, it's like, oh yeah, yeah. I feel that that's an excellent kind of like foreknowledge is forearmed or whatever that saying is, but because you're not. There's only a few people that I'll watch now. I've stopped watching a lot of people who do videos because they're so heavy into PR or affiliation, but in an ultimately untransparent way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're just so obviously loving it because they got it for free or whatever. Or they're on their, maybe it's a company they did like, and now they're so thrilled to be on their list. I mean, I just watched you go on and on about how much you loved Vanessa Merrick, and then ripped her a new one for some layout in the most recent palette. It's like, yeah, I want to hear your opinion because
But like,
even love it. It's like I normally don't have a. What the hell?
but I think the problem then as well is like my face is so transparent and clear. If I love something, it's very, very clear. If I hate something, it's also very, very clear. And I'm like, I'm too old to be messing around. And like, I get like people get really excited about like getting PR or their affiliate. Like, I'm affiliated with a few things, but like, I think even recently I did like a video on Clarity, who I normally love and I'm an affiliate
Yeah,
with.
yeah,
And I just said I didn't love it in the way that I thought I was going to love it.
yeah.
And like, the mats just weren't it. And I don't know if it was that I got a dud palette or what, but I'm like, I'm not going to bother lying because that's stupid.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I've also, I think, through watching your videos have really started to understand that not all formulas are created equal, and that you can have something that looks good in a pan, but you put on your face and it's like you haven't put any on. And then I had like the Artitude Color Splash palette, which is my
Mm.
favorite for drag. If you have to have one little palette to get you through a run of a show and you don't have a lot of luggage space, that's going to get you there.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, it looks very dusty and pale almost, like not, oomph. And you put on your face, it's like, whoa, where did that color come from? Like, because some tones are like that. They're just more impactful on the skin. And without knowing that, like when I first started drinking, I bought a lot of makeup. I should never have bought. I think one of the things I shouldn't have bought was the Glaminatrix, that one that they had so much trouble with, that first one, the green,
Yes.
remember?
Yes,
And
another one.
I bought it, and then as I was waiting for it, and it's like it was a pre-order. It's my first pre-order. It was a long pre-order, and then it was delayed on their end, and then they shipped it. And finally, 4 months after I pre-ordered it, I got it, and three of the pans were smashed. But
Yes.
normally there was one that they were having problems with, which was what the delay was about. They resent me those three pans. Thank you very much. I did a review of the palette, and then I shipped it off to Chloe because I couldn't. It just wasn't for me. I at that time, especially, a lot of high multi-chromes and stuff like that aren't good for drag, and that was
No.
such a beautiful palette, but it wasn't matte heavy. And I've also since learned, you know what? I don't need Australian makeup. It might be the best formula out there, but it takes forever.
Yeah.
And the shipping is ridiculous. And then there's Cosmic Brushes, which is a company I have yet to try anything from. But every time I go to their site, they're sold out. So I kind of feel like, that's just Jesus saying, you don't need these people.
Yeah.
I've got Blend Bunny. I've got Beauty Bay. I've got Plouise. I think I'm covered.
I mean, to be fair, like I think with like say Cosmic Brushes, and I do enjoy their stuff like an awful lot. I think it's great for those of us who are in Europe because we can't get a lot of indie brands that are in the States. I think Cosmic Brushes is a nice one for us. And part of the kind of lure of it is that it isn't like crazy expensive. However, once you're in America or whatever and you're paying for the shipping, it does become expensive, which is kind of working against them then. But I would say it's more of like a brand for people who are in Europe, because once you start kind of going beyond that, it's just no longer.
And I love that for you guys. Like that's like Brad Pitt being straight for the straight girls. It's like, good for you guys. You got one. You like, because there are some really incredible indie companies in America. And because they're independent, they can't really ship internationally the way some. Also, America's very insular. Like they don't think internationally. They barely like, oh, how much to Canada? Ooh, it's so far. Ooh. It's attached, honey. Calm down. But I feel like there's European companies like Beauty Bay, not a lot to ship, and I get it pretty friggin' quick.
Yeah.
It's also pretty good and quick. I mean, they're still crossing an ocean and dealing with customs on this end, but pretty fast. So I don't mind, but I've certainly had to wait for things like, I remember ordering something from Elf's website. Oh my God. You think that they had made it when I ordered it. You know what I mean? It's like, stir up the vat. We got another order. It's like, oh. And so I'm very happy for you guys that you have Cosmic Brushes. And I'm very happy that I don't, because I don't really need it, but I will at some point. I'll either break down and go on their website and catch,
whatever is there.
But they just released their new Gothic palette, or at least they're going. But Carrie Kay had the video out, which I watched because I just was like, oh, I love that it was a 12-pan palette, not a 36.
Yeah.
But it's a purple palette, and I would really much rather buy the Plouise one. No offense to Cosmic Brushes. But if I'm going to buy a purple palette, and keep in mind, I still have the Midnight palette from Beauty Bay, which is blue purple. I don't have the berries one, but I'm going to at some point get that.
Yeah.
It's purple one. I would rather have that over the other. But the other thing I really have enjoyed this Halloween, because last Halloween wasn't like this Halloween. There wasn't as many products being thrown down the pan. And this year, and then Glamlight ruined it. They had the perfect Ghostface release, and then they ruined it with Elm Street and Friday the 13th. Not that they're horrible or anything, but it's like, why are you stealing your own thunder? What's going on?
But that's the thing. Like, you need to let that wave right. Like, people haven't even gotten their Ghostface orders. Like, I ordered
already. Like, oh no, I didn't. Maybe they're smart. They might have bought more in safe shipping, and now they're getting different orders or whatever. I don't know, but yeah, it's.
They needed to pace it out more, unless it's like they're gonna do something big for Christmas as well, and they have all of these timelines. But I'm just like, just chill out. Like it's a bit much.
I have two favorite palettes for Christmas. I'm not a big Christmas person fan, like Christmas themed makeup or anything, but P. Louise had the Christmas one that was all it's limited edition. You can't get it anymore. Let me find it. It's a great palette because it's one of the Stackums.
Oh yes, is it the one that's like it's like a crown?
No, I know what one you're talking about. No. Hold on. I can't. Here it is. So P. Louise did these limited edition love takes. One of them came in a budget box, and it was the black the gray toned one going
Yes.
solo, which is gorge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. I wish it was deeper.
Yeah.
Like it needs a solid black in there because that's not black. And then it
Yeah.
needs some tone grays. But this is still a great palette. And then this one was called Under the Mistletoe. And this was, I think, in a budget box. You can't get it anymore.
Yeah, that is cute.
The reds in here are gorgeous because there's this, this is more of a blue red.
Yes.
And then this is like a cherry red, like more of a hot.
Yes.
You know, so they're completely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. And then this is like a greeny yellow highlight, and then underneath it like a mint highlight.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is nice.
yeah. And then all these greens, these three greens, that is the perfect progression of colors from dark, middle, and light.
Yeah.
Perfect progression of one tone of colors. And then the other one I really like, Beauty Moon. I got it off their website when I ordered their mystery bag a while back. It was a great mystery bag. I think they have Halloween ones right now if you're looking. Go to the website. If you don't know Beauty Moon, it's a British company, and they're fantastic. Have you ever bought anything from them?
I haven't, no.
Oh my God, Teresa! Well,
I know.
beautymoon.uk.
.co.uk, I would imagine. Yeah.
Google Beauty Moon. They have an Instagram, and that's where I found them. The first was the Instagram, and they had a mystery box, and it was like a good price too. And I know what it was. Somebody had they have one long palette, and it's something like incarceration, or I don't know what it's the name of it. I'm way off on a tangent, but it's I saw that palette, so I went to their site to see it, and they had the mystery box. And yeah, Steph's saying you need to try Beauty Moon.
Right, well, onto the list it goes.
Yeah, but they had this one palette for Christmas that had a great red, a great green, a bunch of silvers, and I think it was discontinued. It was last was $2.99.
Oh. I
bought it, and it's over. I'll show next time we're talking on. I'll show it to you. But I did a video with it. If you look for my Drag Queen approved or testing products, it's Perfect. The Beauty Moon one. If I haven't posted it yet, it's because I'm behind on all my editing. But you should check them out. I think Criminal. That's it. Thank you. I knew it was something had to do with being arrested.
I don't know. I'm looking for an incarcerated
your video that I watched. I think Steph did the video. It was someone's video, and it was like, "What is that now?" I'm sure it was Steph because she's been Beauty Moon for a while. Oh, she has a discount code, so get on it. Everybody, follow Not Your Basic Steph on Instagram and YouTube, and use her discount code when you visit Beauty Moon. Thank you.
That is the end.
You're my lover, darling. What do you think? Are we done?
I think so. Because weren't you saying you have to toddle off?
We're not getting anything more beautiful.
Well,
I just find it's so funny looking at myself on the monitor. I'm so pale, but when I look at myself just with the lights in my mirror, like this is so a good skin tone for me.
Yeah.
But I'm also not unhappy with how pale this is. Because normally when I do my makeup, it's stark.
Yeah.
Pale. You know what I mean? I just feel like it's like this area here is like very, and then, people say to me, "Oh, you look so young and fresh. What's your secret?" And it's like a lot of makeup and hot lights,
Yeah.
But then I look at myself up close after I'm filming, and all of my lines of intelligence, you can see them all. And it's amazing to me, like, once the lights wash everything out, then you, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's a lot to look at. But yeah, I have to say, short of those double-ended liners from Plouise, I don't think I've ever had anything from, oh no, that's a lie. There was one budget box that had two primers in it. One was a hydrating primer, and one was like a putty primer, like a filler primer. They're both pump. They're very similar to this one. I used this one today because this was in the last budget box as
Yeah.
well. And this was fine. This is lovely. It's got a pink tone to it, but it doesn't color your skin. But it's just, and the only thing I hate about it is it's a pump top. But what I love about it is it's also, you can empty it.
You can squeeze it, yeah.
Get it all. But this is great. Their hydrating primer that they, I think, are still selling is fantastic. But the putty one kind of went on like white glue.
Oh.
You know how when you use white glue and you spread it on your hand, it starts to get sticky and tacky and starts to dry? It kind of had that feeling on my skin. And I feel like if you put it in certain areas, like just under your eyes and just maybe in your forehead or in between your eyebrows and that, it would be fabulous.
Yeah.
Try and do it all over your face. You either have to do it in sections or quick, or I don't know, maybe I should have done it like in one go, but I still used it up. Like it was fine to use, but I couldn't use it all over. So I used both of them. I used the putty for the areas that needed some texture control, and then the hydrating one was really, really hydrating. I really liked it. Yeah. Basic Steph is saying, basic. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to call you that, Steph. Not your basic Steph. Agrees. The Plouise is amazing. But yeah, so yeah, I think that was the only other thing, that the putty primer that they did. Everything else that I've had ever from them, I love. And then when I go back to them, I'm still amazed at how, like,
Yeah.
And I feel like between Plouise and Beauty Bay, and then the holes that Be Perfect is filled out, I don't need anything else. Like I could even get rid of all my Juvia's Place and not miss anything. Do you know what I mean? And I love Juvia's Place, but I think that if I had to Sophie's Choice my makeup, it would be Plouise first, then Beauty Bay, then Be Perfect, and then maybe a few odds and sods of things I like my Juicy Cheeks.
Yes.
And that highlighter palette of theirs, I have to tell you, that is a wild highlighter palette from Blend.
Isn't it?
Oh my God, because none of the colors you think are the color that they look when you put it on your face. You have to really kind of tell, oh yeah, no, I don't want it. But I love it.
Yeah.
Especially with the Juicy Cheeks, because I use that yellow as a blush. Because I remember when I first saw people using yellow blush, it was like, you look bruised. You look like you've been slapped. Like it's not like, and I think that people were just using it wrong. But just throwing it in certain areas with, incredible the tone it gives you.
Oh yeah,
So,
and even just like using it like to, not as a base, but like to ombre out like other colors, like more oranges, etc. Like it looks so pretty.
Yeah, and I think this blush here, I use the coral. I think it looks great. Like I'm used to a powder, so I feel like I didn't get as much of. I could have put more on, but I was afraid of it going too much, and I wasn't sure how to control the fade down here. But with a brush, you can always start back and work forward. So I tried to do that with the sponge. I think I think it's all right.
Oh yeah.
But but I think all in all, God, I feel like this is just like I feel like a roadie for Fubar.
Yes.
Like, this is a very masculine wig, I think, for Wilma.
I love it.
Gonna smoke? I don't know. That's how you know how Wanda Sykes, have you ever seen Wanda Sykes impersonate her wife?
Yeah.
She's always got a cigarette, and then she doesn't smoke. It's like all French people smoke, even if they don't. You know, you don't have to say English. You just do French. You know, and you know it's a jetan. But yeah, that's as much French as I know. Salope.
I mean, that's all you really need to know.
Just so you can point them out. Some people miss them.
Yeah.
Salope. All right. Well, Canadian Thanksgiving calls.
Yes. Enjoy, my love.
All of this off. Now, only to spend time with you would I put all of this effort in to take off makeup.
Thank you so much for having me.
If I could go to dinner like this, I would. But I don't have anything else to wear.
I mean, I'd just go as you are. You're fabulous.
I'm a knocker.
Exactly. Thank you so much for having me. I so appreciate it.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. We don't do this enough. I feel like I was totally flying fast and loose with the couple of times that you asked me to fill in for you on R&R, because I feel like we get our catch-up chat
Yes.
in that, and we haven't had that in a little while.
I know.
Although we talk every day. I mean, we talk every day on the grams and all that.
Yes.
But yeah, I just want to say I thank you for the integrity of your channel, for the honesty that you have, for the adultness that you try and address everything, and for your ability to slag off people who need to be slagged off in the right place and the right time. Cameras are off because I know where all the bodies are buried, and I won't tell.
They're in my back garden because I don't have a lot of upper body strength, so I've just been dragging them out.
No, you're hoping for a heavy rain to wash them out to sea.
Yeah, we're not that inland. We're fine.
Yeah. It's a little too fine pointed and quick to the specifics, but really, we've never discussed.
Yeah, it's fine. Plausible deniability.
I look forward to your next week's installment of R&R. I'm enjoying your new Sunday swatch party where you swatch things and show them in all sorts of light, because that's helpful. And yeah, if anyone's pissing in your pool, keep track of the names and send them to me. Mama's got this. Mama's got this.
Thank you, my love.
I got my delicate flower hair on. Get in my 18-wheeler and handle some business. Flick.
Feels like you're the sort of a woman that would carry a wrench in her handbag.
I'm a right big spanner. Hello, kitty. That's how we start our day. Whack. Did you ever see Dodgeball? If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. That Leslie really can throw.
Just felt very much like an Irish PE system.
What's that?
It felt very much like an Irish PE system. It's like, yeah, that's how we do PE over here.
I think that's pretty much every PE system. Get the weakest, I think is what that game was called originally.
Yeah. And then they were like, it's a little bit too on the nose.
And then they built it up to a Bean the Nerd, and they felt that was less offensive, and then realized how many nerds there were, and so Dodgeball. What are we playing? Bean the Nerd. I don't like it. Well, just dodge the ball. Ooh.
Ooh.
We're on to something.
Much more inclusive language.
And now in America, I don't know if this is happening by you, but pickleball. Have you heard of this?
My friend was just talking to me about this, and I was like, what the fuck is a pickleball?
What the fuck is going on? We've got half the world is underwater. The other half is on fire. And we've got a bunch of people fighting for the right to play pickleball.
You see, I know that my friend was like trying to explain it to me, and I'm like, no, don't try to explain it to me, because I just want to imagine. I want to imagine that you're actually using pickles.
Me too. That's my favorite name, like nickname. If I was somebody's aunt, I want them to call me Pickles.
Yeah.
Or Peaches. Either one, I think it's cute.
Oh,
but if I had a dog, I'd call it Pickles. Come on, Pickles, we're going to the ball.
That was a perfect name.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the pickleball thing is about, but I heard it once. I was watching the show Ghosts, the American version, and they were talking about like this couple who really liked pickleball, and I was like, okay, is this a made-up thing on this show, and it's not actually a thing?
Steph
and it
just
was like,
WTF is pickleball.
Yeah, and it was like one of the, now, Steph, you're going to find that now that you've heard about pickleball for the first time.
You see it everywhere.
Because I just saw it once in that show, and then it was like a steady stream of like people talking about it, and I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Is it the thing with the cutouts with the circles and you throw the ball in it? Oh no, this is the that's called what do you call that? That's cornhole. The term cornhole. It's where you throw a beanbag through it. No, pickleball is a wiffle ball, like a bigger ball, like almost a plastic ball with holes in it. So it doesn't go. The air slows it down or something. It doesn't go as fast. It doesn't hurt you. And then you're playing badminton with it, more or less.
Oh.
It's like a racket sport with a more substantial thing than a bird, for badminton, a shuttlecock, but not a ball, like not a solid ball. But did you ever play with wiffle balls, like field hockey with wiffle balls?
No.
Did you do that? No, that's a Canadian thing. All Canadian sports are made to shame us. It's the only way I can explain lacrosse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all of our sports are just us trying to like beat each other up to some degree. I mean, we have hurling. I don't know if you've ever seen hurling, and it's just like a big stick, and we just whack each other with it and pretend that we saw the ball.
Or what my brother and I used to call Tuesday. Steph says her dog's name is Pickle, and every time we say it, it looks around looking for.
It's me.
I love a good pickle. Oh, my sister-in-law, who I call my sinister-in-law, and she calls me her bother-in-law. I don't know if you've ever seen on my Instagram feed, there's a keyring that says "Calm your tits." It's a brass. She gave me that. She. I just lost my train of thought with her. It was about
pickles, dogs, animals.
It's gone. You know what? It's gone, and we should go.
Yeah.
I'm terrible. I'm one of those people always say, "Okay, it's time to go," and then 4 hours later, I'm like, "All right, go." But yes, thank you so much. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave without giving it a thumbs up. I also have fantastic Wilma merch in my Redbubble store, especially for Halloween. Denise Journeau created the new Wilma Vira. It's Wilma as Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, with red hair. Gorgeous. You can get that on anything from Redbubble. If there's something at Redbubble you'd like to get something on and it's not available in my store, let me know and I'll make it available or tell you why it's not. And also follow Teresa. She's also on Instagram and TikTok. And also with the TikTok, she's got these great little mini reviews of things that lead up to her polls on Instagram where you can rate whether you like or not like some new products. And then she uses those in her review to let people know what the litmus is for the average makeup lover on the street. So I'm sure it's just the same 6 people who always change their answer to make you crazy, but
yeah. Only logical thing.
Yeah. But we don't hang out enough, and I love you, and I hope you have continued success and fabulosity. And
I love you too, my doll.
All right. And thank you all for joining us. I hope you have a great day. Be happy, be healthy, and above all else, be selfish. Treat yourself well before you treat yourself like you're on an airplane. Get your own oxygen going before you help anyone else, especially kids. They're annoying.
Oh, no, get rid of them.
They'll never thank you. Not like a cat would.
Yes, give the cat the oxygen first, then yourself.
I don't even like cats. Anyway, all right. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.